The following video demonstration shows examples of images taken using Reflectance Transformation Imaging, or RTI. Reflectance Transformation Imaging, or RTI, was originally developed by scientists Tom Malzbender and Dan Gelb at the Hewlett-Packard Imaging Labs. A reflectance transformation image is produced by taking many images of an object at different light angles with a fixed camera, for example with fixed lights in a dome. Special fitter software records the coordinates of each light position, then analyzes the way light is reflected in each pixel in the image, and using a mathematical algorithm, creates a texture map of the object. This is not actually a composite of the many images, but rather a model built out of the data from the individual pictures. One may then use a computer cursor to move the light in any direction on the texture-mapped image. Moreover, the user can manipulate the reflectance data to perform mathematical transformations to the interactive image that enhance one's ability to see details that would otherwise be invisible. It is also possible to use the same technique without a dome. In this case, a handheld flash or other light source takes the place of the fixed lights of the dome. As each image is captured, a highlight is registered on a shiny ball placed within the frame of each image, and these highlights, an example of which is shown in the upper right corner, are read by a computer program that then calculates the coordinates of each light position in the creation of the interactive image. Such a shiny ball or highlight RTI technique is particularly well suited for field environments, for example, in remote locations. The applications of the various transformations can be seen in this Greco-Roman mummy mask. Here we are going to select a detail from the mask, and as in the previous example, we can move the light around with the flashlight tool. However, one can also apply a transformation called specular enhancement that will intensify the reflectivity of the artifact. It is particularly effective on this painting, as it shows very clearly the longer, smoother brush strokes of the background in contrast to the paint that has been more heavily applied, probably by use of a stick, around the eyes. One can also use another transformation, diffuse gain, to intensify the contrast in or diffuse reflectance properties of the object while still retaining the color information. This Egyptian funerary stela shows the advantages of RTI for clarifying difficult to read and interpret inscriptions and iconography in stone. The use of the specular enhancement tool can be especially useful for viewing worn or otherwise hard-to-see details. Note the details of the eyes and mouth of the figure of the child that would not be nearly so clearly visible if they were not enhanced by the use of this particular tool. Another option allows the viewer to examine the object employing the illumination of two virtual lights, the green dot indicating a light from the upper left, with shadows filled in by the second light, indicated by the red dot from the lower right. One can independently move each light around with precision until the combination makes a given set of details as clear as possible. This particular technique reflects what is often done when shooting an inscription by conventional means. One light is set up as the primary light, while a second, usually at a slightly greater distance, fills in shadows from the other side. As needed, the researcher can make adjustments in real time. The use of RTI technology on Dead Sea Scrolls has shown how much detail one can retrieve from an ink-inscribed manuscript. Originally, we used RTI in order to see the hair follicle patterns and the patterns of damage on the inscribed animal skins. However, we soon discovered that the use of specular enhancement enabled us to see the thicknesses of the ink strokes in a number of instances, as well as the order in which the ink strokes were put down. Thus, the use of RTI shows great promise for revealing scribal ductus, essential in tracing calligraphic practices, and even in dating these important manuscripts. It also improves one's ability to monitor the condition of the skin for purposes of conservation analysis and fragment matching.